I think that the main takeaway that people will have from this quarantine is that people will begin to have a greater respect, especially within the Western world, for the incredible things that they have access to in their daily lives, and the things that they can afford. It's not extremely drastic, but people are beginning to get a little glimpse into what it might be like to live in poorer countries, with their purchasing decisions. Because before this, we were able to go to the store and pick up from innumerable items, of basic household goods, but now we have a much more limited selection and due to these shortages. And yes, we can still purchase what we need, but our options are much more limited. And I think that this is a great way, or not great way, is going to lead to a change in perspective, and appreciation for all the goods that we have access to during our lives outside of quarantine. This access to goods that we normally have is a comfort that we didn't know we have until situations like this, when a limit is put onto us. It will be interesting to see if this perspective will be able to change for the long run, and people will hold on to it long after this. But it could easily just end after a week or so of that new perspective. Another change that I've seen is that families are having more family dinners now, especially my own family. This is a wonderful thing, and I think that people realize how much they have or they miss during their normal busy lives, when they're not all able to sit down together and have a meal. I know for my family, for sure, we've had a meal almost every day together, and it's been great. I think that the best way that I can help these changes stick is to remind myself when I'm walking through stores, of what they used to be like during the coronavirus epidemic. Instead of trying to forget it happened, I should remind people about it, especially my family members and friends. If someone complains about not being able to find something in a store, I could readjust their perspective of the situation by reminding them about what life was like back when COVID-19 was happening and you didn't have access to all the things you do now. In terms of family dinners, I could try to arrange for my family to have dinner together at least once a week instead of every once in a while after this is over. We shouldn't forget the great meals that we had together during this time. And after all, we should just be able to do that together during our normal lives, even though they are busy. As a society, I think that we have to try to remain appreciative for what we have during times of peace or times when there is not a major problem in the world. When there are not global issues going on, people tend to focus their unoccupied attention on problems, that are small and make them seem even larger than they actually are. We have to remember that only in times of chaos do we really appreciate peace. And in doing this, we have to address issues in accordance with the magnitude to which they actually are. This will make us more appreciative of peaceful times and of things such as family dinners and being able to enjoy purchasing comfort goods at your greatest convenience.
One thing that I thought has changed in a good way due to the COVID-19 pandemic is the environment. I truly never thought that the US, let alone the entire world, would basically have to shut down and stop all non essential work. Without this global pandemic, our world would never have been put on pause like this. Rather, we would have just kept working and going on with our lives and not taken into consideration the severity of how devastated our global environment truly is. Reports have shown that there is such a significant decrease in the air and water pollution as well as waste from excess things. There is significantly less air pollution due to people not driving as much and factories shutting down temporarily. I myself will contribute to keeping the environment intact through a few different things. First, I will contribute by walking more and driving less. I will also only use my reusable water bottle and not buy plastic water bottles to reduce plastic waste. I will only take notes on my laptop rather than taking notes on paper in a notebook to avoid wasting paper. I will do more gardening through planting trees and plants which are beneficial for the environment. I will be more attentive to the origin of where products are made and try to only buy products made in the US, so less transportation is needed, therefore less air pollution. I will try to do more virtual things when I can rather than traveling by driving to do work in person. Also, I will talk to future employers about working remotely a few days a week when possible to reduce the commute pollution. As a society, we can keep these good changes to the environment through a multitude of things, such as continuing to build awareness of the benefits of the environment during this time and continue to build momentum through social media and marketing campaigns to truly educate everyone on the pros of this pandemic. We can also import less products from other countries to minimize traveling that would cause more air pollution. We can also change everything to digital to completely eliminate the use of paper. By doing all of these things, we can better the quality of life for wildlife and plants, as well as lives will be saved from the less polluted air they breathe in.
Change that has turned out for the better, that has made good come out of it, is through Zoom and Google Hangouts and FaceTime, is you can connect with people way easier and have conversations. My grandfather's in a nursing home and we're not allowed to go visit him anymore until this is all over with. But we are allowed to FaceTime, so unlike when we would go visit him, my family would go at a time and then my cousins would go and my other cousins. Now we're all doing it at once. We're all on the same Zoom talking to him, and it's been a while since he's been able to talk to everyone. Like, it happens probably once a year on his birthday, and now it's every other night or close to every other night that we're all hanging out on there talking to him and trying to make things as normal as possible. And what also goes along with Zoom and good that comes out of it is I'm talking to a lot more people that I haven't seen in a while. Friends from high school who, haven't talked to. You see now maybe at like an old high school event at a Thanksgiving football game. And then that's it. That's the one time you see them that year, when you used to see them every day and talk to them every day. But now people are, with less stuff to do, they're sending out the Zoom links and people are joining, putting them in old group chats, and everyone's just talking, and that helps. The laughter and the joy of talking to people, it's gonna help keep people sane and get through this quarantine. And what I can contribute to making this change stick afterwards is just talking to more people. I've started talking to my neighbors more, who are just outside with their kids, building stronger connections. And that's the good that's come out of this that I've seen. And as a society, what we can do to keep these good changes are just be kinder to everyone. Everyone's going through the same thing right now. There's no need to attack everyone. Just hang out with your friends online, hang out with your family online. Try to get through this as best as we can, because this is uncharted waters, and the connections that we've made shouldn't go unnoticed. And we should just keep talking to friends and family, and that will help us get through this.
One positive change I've noticed due to the coronavirus pandemic is the great appreciation for those who work in essential businesses such as grocery stores, Amazon, FedEx, mailmen, and restaurants. Throughout our lives, these people have always been there, but they have not always received the immense gratitude and recognition that they deserve. During this time, those people go to work every day and risk their health to provide us and our community with the things we need. One example of the positive change I've noticed are signs outside of homes saying thank you to those who deliver to those homes and to those who go to work every day, regardless of these circumstances. Another example I've noticed, especially with the restaurants workers, are the immense increase in the number of tips being left. My family recently ordered pickup from a local restaurant, and the tip jar was overflowing. During this time, it is important to help small businesses stay afloat, as they are not receiving the income that they are used to. Personally, after this emergency is over, I will continue to thank and express my gratitude and admiration for all of these people. I am thankful that I have the opportunity to social distance and quarantine in my home, but many people do not have this luxury. I have found myself moved by the dedication of these workers. They enter work environments where they interact with many, many people, and even if they are wearing personal protective equipment such as gloves, masks, and washing their hands as many times as they can, it may not be enough. Then they go home and hope that they are not sick. After this pandemic, I will continue to tip as much as I can to support as many small businesses and express my gratitude to FedEx drivers and mailmen. I think as a society, we need to work towards removing stigmas that surround these occupations. These occupations help so many people every single day, and it is important to not bring people down due to the occupation they obtain. Any job is a job, and that is what needs to be acknowledged. Finally, as a society, I think we can continue to say thank you, to give tips, and to support local small businesses, and to pray for those who are in these occupations. These occupations are not always deemed as the most successful and sought after jobs, but they are essential, and we all need to recognize how important they are to our lives and how grateful we are for those who work in those occupations every single day.